Hey everyone, welcome to our Asset Management Fridays segment of the Passive Income Through Multifamily Real Estate podcast. I'm your co-host Kyle Mitchell, also joined by Gary Lipsky. This is a new segment that we recently launched. It's focused on educating operators, building better systems, and becoming a best-in-class operator. Since we're also live on Facebook right now, make sure to type in any questions you have in the comment section below. Also, be sure to check out our Facebook group, Passive Income Through Multifamily Real Estate. All right, today on the show, we have Alain Villegas. Alain, how are you?
I'm doing good, Kyle. Gary, thank you for having me. Now, every syndicator and apartment buyer want to become a good asset manager. In a very limited time we have today, I'm excited to share how to be on top of the property management company running your apartment. And this is the key for you to keep properties performing well. So again, I'm Alain Villegas, a full-time real estate investor based in Dallas, Texas. I have over $60 million of properties under asset management, just under 900 doors spread across 7 apartments. Our deals are in Dallas-Fort Worth Metro and Houston, and I have also invested as limited partner in 8 properties, just over 12,000 doors total, 1,200 doors total.
That's great. So let's talk about reporting today, Alain. What reports do you acquire from your third-party property management, and how often do you receive them?
We have daily, weekly, and monthly reports. Monthly reports are your regular financials, which includes 12-month profit and loss statements, cash flow statements, rent roll, accounts payable, and balance sheet, among others. Now, the daily report includes collections, total collected at end of the business day, bad debt and delinquency. It also includes occupancy, the units that are occupied, vacant units that are pre-leased, notice to vacate, move-ins and move-outs, and also evictions. And the last portion of the daily report includes the make-ready items, how many units that are already made ready, non-made ready units, and also the open work orders that we have. Now, for our weekly reports, we have 3. First one is the property performance report. Now, this has all the information from the daily reports, but it also includes renewals, 30, 60, and 90 days out. Also budget versus actuals for total income and net operating income. The weekly tracking of our bottom line is very important, as this helps us in decision making. The second weekly report is a property make-ready board. For every vacant unit, we have a breakdown on make-ready status per item, which includes trash out, repaint, flooring, resurfacing, light and plumbing fixtures, appliances, all the items that are part of the make-ready. And the last report, weekly report, is a status of includes status of capex items, lender draws, marketing initiatives, community events in our property, staffing, and market survey. Now, the market survey is important because we want to keep tabs on our competition in terms of current rents and lease specials or concessions.
For the daily reports that you spoke of, are they emailing you every day, or are you using Yardi or different software? How are you accessing that information?
It's automatically emailed to us every day. So once you get used on looking at these reports, it just takes you 1 to 2 minutes to go over them.
Great. And what are the most critical elements of all the reporting that you're looking at? What is the most important to you?
Now, I look at 4 important items, 4 important data points. For many, occupancy normally jumps out as top of the list, and it is one of the most important information we need any given time. But for me, the most critical is the budget versus actual net operating income. And the reason for this is it is already reflective of the overall performance of your operations, taking account both your revenue and expense. The third thing that also, third data point you want to see is your delinquency. You want to keep it between 3 to 5. Now, ideally, you want your delinquency to be 1%. And the last one is made-ready vacant units. Always make sure that you have available unit for same-day move-in as this can help your leasing staff close the deal in terms of signing up a new tenant.
Thanks. Are you tracking these reports over a period of time? From the day one you take it over to the day you sell it, or once you look at it on a daily or monthly, you kind of put it to the side?
Yeah. So when property is already stable, we normally pay attention to the weekly reports at the minimum. Never wait until month end. A couple of bad weeks can have impact already in your overall performance for the month. And we learned a hard lesson on this. We have a property that's really performing well, and we settled down on just looking at the month-end report. And the first month that hit us, it was 89%, and we say, okay, this should come back up next month. And then the following month, it became 85%. And so from that point on, we said, hey, we need to look at this at least weekly at the minimum. Now, if property has some occupancy issue and it's not performing well, check the daily reports regularly, and this will help in real-time decision-making process.
That's really good advice. Do you guys create your own reports at all, or just it's all about the third-party property management reports?
We do have 3 reports that we build just for as asset manager. We build them ourselves. Now, the first one is we create a rolling T3 snapshot of total income, total expense, and net operating income. We do our distribution quarterly, and a rolling T3 snapshot help us keep tabs of our cash flow distribution status. The second report that we create our own is the bank balance report per property. The property management has access to the operations accounts, but for the cash distribution accounts and capex accounts, we as the asset manager have the only access to them. So we want to have the overall picture in terms of overall balance per property. And the last, we also have the portfolio performance report. It shows the monthly numbers for each property, and because we have multiple properties, we have 7 that we are actively managing. So the portfolio performance report will give us information on which property to put more focus on, and normally our time goes into the property that is not performing well or below, the performance is below than the other properties.
All right, and let's segue to what reports you provide investors, and how often do you provide these reports?
We send out monthly email update to our investors, and since their investors are, they are more concerned of their cash flow, right? So we include the T3, the rolling T3 snapshot on this email update. We also provide the general status of operations, capital plan updates, and also all the monthly financial reports. We provide them to investors. Not all of our investors will open them, but a few of them will have interest on looking at the P&L or the cash flow. And we provide all of that to our investors for them to be also have access to all information that they may want to look at.
And do you use any specific software tools to manage all these reports?
Our property management software is Ressman. We use CRD in one of our properties, and all the monthly and daily reports are generated from both software. The weekly reports, they are prepared by our regional managers. Some of the details in the weekly reports are from Ressman or ERD, but many information like the status of capex item or status of lender draws, this can only be gathered manually. So we make sure that our regional managers prepare the report for us to review.
All right, so perfect world, no cost. What would the perfect report look like? Was there any information that you don't get that you would want?
Yeah, so imagine a daily report where your leasing staff know where to get quality tenants to move in, and with information on what is the optimum rent to offer. you need lots of data for that. Data on source of potential tenants, how much they make, how much they can afford in terms of rent, timing of move-ins, what is their sweet spots in terms of amenities that could push them to rent in our properties, real-time information on competition. Now, if you have this all narrowed down to a daily report where we can specifically focus our marketing on the target demographic, and at the same time we can adjust the pricing to maximize our revenue while keeping traffic conversion at a very high percentage, that will result to a very efficient operations. And if we can have that, I know that's a lot of information that we have to build, but hey, if we can get that, and if cost is not an issue, we will gladly have that for all our properties.
I love it. I love it. Let's work on that together.
Kyle, oh yeah.
You to finish it up.
Yeah, Alain, we ask every guest this final question. What is your asset management superpower?
Being proactive, always stay ahead of things, leading not only my team, but anticipating future challenges. We have been doing stress tests on our numbers for the past 2 years. So right now, when many syndicators say, have you stress tested your numbers? We've been doing that already for a couple of years. Now, nobody have foreseen the impact of COVID in apartments, but since we have prepared in advance for worst case scenarios, our properties thankfully are in great shape. So now, for all those listeners out there, if you have questions though on more questions on asset management, please email me at Alain Villegas at yahoo.com. That is ALAINVILLEGAS at yahoo.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show and adding value on the subject of reporting. Today, I learned a couple things here. Don't just look at monthly and weekly reports. Look at daily, especially depending on how the property is performing. Be proactive, not reactive. So important as an asset manager, right? You don't want to wait for things to happen. You want to foresee them so you can get ahead of them. And then some of your favorite KPIs or budgeting items are budget versus actual NOI, and then the rolling T3, which I liked a lot. So thanks for everyone for listening in today. And if you'd like this episode, please head over to iTunes and Stitcher. Give us a like, subscribe, and review, as it'll help us continue to grow our audience. So we'll talk to everyone next week. Hey, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. If you're interested in learning more about APT Capital Group and speaking to someone on our team, click on the link and schedule a call with us. We're here to help, and we'd be excited to speak with you and get to know more about you and your goals. Talk to you soon.